Fat Sister quickly concluded Kaccents must be taking a dirt nap, while Yanjing thought this was nonsense since there was plenty of water. There's no need for everyone to start a food fight. Fat Sister jumped in again, mocking that everyone still didn't get it. This accident was just a behind-the-scenes show. Someone gathered them up, aiming for a complete takeout. Jennifer chimed in that Kaccents' disappearance might have something to do with her. Yesterday, while setting up equipment on the mountain, she noticed Kaccents sneakily brought food, so she mentioned it, and on the way back, Kaccents was acting a bit. Black Bro suggested going 2x2 to search, with predators and pests plentiful in the forest, and Kaccents always checking in at the gym he might have met with an. Glasses suddenly asked why the rescue helicopter hadn't arrived, and this question stranded everyone in silence, completely clueless. Positioning devices' antenna had been snipped, and Jingfa decided to check out the mountain top. The others started searching for Kaccents, while Glasses and Jingfa made their way to the mountain top. Soon it was afternoon and the rescue team still hadn't found Kaccents. The humid and muggy weather of the primeval forest drove them back to base. Glasses and company were dozing off while Black Bro bravely ventured alone into the thick brush. Fat Sister, out of curiosity, followed him, and the two decided to take a break. Glasses kindly reminded Jingfa not to walk too close to Black Bro, and when Jingfa asked why, Glasses brought up what Fat Sister said. That Black Bro is no endurance agent. He hadn't finished when Jingfa suddenly pointed out a swarm of unexpected flying pests nearby. Jingfa decided to investigate with a nagging bad feeling. Fenji was being disturbed by odd noises, hearing someone call her name. Fenji grabbed a burning branch and followed the sound into the thicket, only to find a dude holding a rifle charging at her without explanation. The duo turned back midway. Jingfa's sixth sense was uncannily accurate, with pests feeding on Kaccents' corpse. His body was covered in stab wounds, clearly a murder. Jingfa finally believed Fat Sister, realizing the killer was among them. Black Bro had no rebuttal. Glasses helped Dandan with her wounds. Asking what just happened, Dandan whispered it was just an accident. Actually, Fenji had a bit of a mental crisis stemming from a school shooting she had experienced as a kid when a parent showed her up with an assault rifle. 5 students and 2 teachers were taken out, with Fenji witnessing the whole scene and even making eye contact with the shooter, leaving a deep scar on his side. After listening, no one spoke. They shunned Dandan, approached Kaccents' body. Classes speculated. Maybe it was mentally unstable Fenji, a serial killer like Paul, who took out Kaccents last night, but Jingfa retorted without restraint. Kaccents' fatal wound was on the neck, smooth and sharp, showing the killer's decisiveness. If Fenji had that capability. Now that Dandan had already bitten the dust, Black Bro suggested they shouldn't rush into a debate. The key issue wasn't who the killer was, but rather why they did it. Who had they upset? While 3 of them debated, 2 narcotics officers visited the troubled airline and had already dug up. This company was a mere shell, never having ventured into aviation. The missing plane's captain had his license suspended, and the airline's boss corrected theirs. The captain's license was merely on a timeout and hadn't been revoked. He reported it according to regulations to the aviation authority. The plane crashed in Mexico, and there was only so much he could do now. When the 2 wanted to ask more, the boss flat out refused to cooperate. After sending the 2 troublemakers away, the boss pulled out a satellite radio, calling out multiple times, but got crickets. Glasses suddenly asked Dandan, "Have you ever done time? I noticed your gang tattoo when I was tending to your wounds." He was cut off mid-sentence as Dandan knocked him down with a headbutt, and Fat Sister, with a tattoo and a gun, strolled over, telling both not to. Dandan dropped the fuss as Fat Sister announced some bad news. "Someone stole all my bullets. Now there's only 1 left in the gun." The food supplies were almost completely exhausted. If the rescue team didn't arrive in a timely manner, they would soon face starvation. Black Bro pulled Dandan into the jungle. He asked Dandan why she was in the slammer, having no intention to offend. To catch the culprit, they first needed to identify who they all collectively crossed. Dandan sighed. "I made way too many enemies. A few years back, I pretended to be a lawyer. Let's just say I was a go-between for smuggling." She mentioned she had more clients than saints, but only collected fees, without facilitating the smuggling. Glasses took a moment to react. "Aren't you?" Dandan replied seriously. "Smuggling is illegal, especially helping Mexicans cross into the U.S. They sometimes enter through a back door. If caught, the penalty is way heavier than fraud." While they chatted, a lizard suddenly scurried into the cabin, plunging them back into darkness. Suddenly it poured rain, forcing everyone to take refuge in the cabin. The rain got heavier, and now the cabin was leaking. Shocked, Jingfa wondered why it wasn't leaking before, when suddenly a shudder passed outside. Black Bro pried open the roof with tools, and something crashed down. "Time's up." He looked up. 9 packages remained, each told a wonk, at the black market rate of 300 per slice. This batch was worth 3 million a slice. Jingfa suddenly had an epiphany. How do you calculate those prices so fast, especially at black market rate? What kind of job do you have? Before Black Bro could answer, Fat Sis suddenly shouted, "Little Feng is missing." Dandan bolted out first, followed by Black Bro. They all scattered, searching the woods for Finch's shadow. Fat Sister was the first to spot Little Feng, followed by Dumoma. It turned out this wasn't Feng's hallucination, and Fat Sister shouted, "Subtitle, drop your weapons." At that very moment, a dazzling streak of lightning flashed across the sky, and suddenly Dumoma disappeared without a trace. As dawn broke, the rain ceased altogether. Sis was struck by lightning in the jungle, tragically meeting her end, while Dandan and Fengji panicked. Jingfa suddenly pulled out the missing rifle bullet. He had figured out who the killer was, and Dandan frantically asked where the bullets had come from. Jingfa pointed out that Fat Sister discovered what she shouldn't have, which is why the killer took care of her. Saying this, he pulled out a gun and aimed it at Black Bro. As for this matter, it's still necessary to discuss it with Fengji. Once again, I gestured towards Black Bro. Isn't this gun yours? Black Bro confirmed it was indeed his, but Jingfa followed up by pulling out the satellite radio, shouting angrily, "You could have contacted the outside world.